Hello, my name is Emily, and for my long term, I decided to test weight's effect on a zip line. So I came up with this idea at my job where we have a zip line, and one assumption I've always had is that people of greater weights go faster. That's exactly what I decided to test. My claim is that weight will have an effect on the speed of a zip line. To set this up at my house, I used string, a pulley, and sand as a weight. I varied the weight by just using different amounts of sand, and then I put it into Ziploc bags so that I could hook it onto the pulley by just breaking the bag. Here's what that looked like in action.
Okay, go.
And here are the results that I got from that. The string snapped at 350 grams, so I was left with only 3 different weights, and I saw a slight decrease in the time as weight got greater. And this is also what you see in the graph. So for what I was going to do next, I knew that I needed to improve the overall setup, definitely test more weights. And I actually had a new question, and that question is it really weight that's affecting the speed? Because one thing that I noticed was as I increased the weight, I saw a greater pull on the string, and such a great pull that it actually broke the string when I used 350 grams. So I thought, could that be affecting the speed as well? But I went on to just redo the data using different weights. This time I used fishing weights. They're smaller and I had a bunch of them so I could use more. For the setup, I used my pulley again, and I set it up in my room this time. I put it on the top of my dresser to my desk, and it was a pretty good angle, and that worked. My independent variable was weight again, obviously, and I used this scale to measure the weights, and I easily hooked them onto the pulley using a wire. Here are the results from that. So you see a decrease in the time as we increase the weights. At 3 grams, it was at 1.94 seconds, and then at the end, 56 grams, it went down to 1.72 seconds. This is the graph for that. The green line is the trend line. That's for the averages. So you see a slight decrease when looking at the line especially. But there were definitely a little variation through the graph. So my question, I still wasn't sure if it was the weight affecting speed because I knew that my string was also being pulled. So I wanted to test how much the different weights pulled the string. To do this, I used an at-home homemade spring scale using a rubber band which I put on the top of the string and hooked that to my dresser instead. And then I used a roller, and all I did is I put all the different weights on the zip line and just hung it at the bottom and then measured how much the string was being pulled down using the roller. And this is what I saw. At 3 grams, it was at 5.5 centimeters. And then at 112 grams, which I used this great weight to really see if there was a difference, it went all the way to 7 centimeters. And to get the 112 grams, I just used a random object that was 112 grams just to see if I really increased the weight a lot and made a dramatic change, would there also be a dramatic change in the centimeters? And there was. But throughout the whole thing, I saw a slight increase, and I just wanted to make that more dramatic. This is the graph. So, in conclusion, for my long term, I am saying that weight does not have an effect on the zip line speed, and any variation that I did see would be due to the weight pulling down on the string, but the weight itself wasn't what was pulling, or the weight itself wasn't what was making it go faster. So that's my conclusion, that's my long term. Let me know if you have any questions, and I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.